Two departments are in association with other two sector skill councils. First one, Management, Entrepreneurship and Professional Skill Council, which is called MEPSC, and IT and ITES Sector Skill Council, which is a famous council in case of IT and AI. Last two associations are getting established in July 2026, and the batch will be getting open by that time. We have one more association that is with the World University Consortium, a sister concern of prestigious World Academy of Art and Science in California, USA. We will be taking two batches in a year, one in January and other one in July. All programs are supported with the company internships and placement support. Establishment of this institute will bring a new orientation in the educational systems in India. That is a student-centered, person-centered, value-based and contextual approach. Through CMI and through GIIMS, we would like to propagate this system of education throughout India, where developing students' individuality and personality to meet the demands of an uncertain future will be given with the key focus. In GIIMS Cochin and in GIIMS Trivandrum, we are doing it, and the result is that it has progressed as one of the largest logistics and supply chain management education providers in India with the 3 centers. 650 company associations to place you, and 4,500 alumni working in over 15 nations, 15 nations around the world. Education here will be based also on a concept of SKAV, that is developing skills, knowledge, attitude, and values together in a student. In the field of logistics, we can see that jobs and career openings offered are very large, even to the extent these fields are fetching the highest job openings for the youths in India. International trade is getting increased. World is moving more and more globalized and technology driven. As far as trade and commerce are concerned, nations and companies are competing each other to capture the international markets. It tells that a well-developed student is of high demand in the job market in India and elsewhere. In this social context of the need for thousands of trained professionals in the field of logistics, we are launching these progressive professional programs. We are planning to go to various cities in India like Calicut and Hyderabad, and also a center, an international center in Dubai in the coming years. CMI, Conscious Management Institute here in Pondi, is actually a unit of Pondicherry, formed and operated by a group of people creating some extraordinary results and achievements worldwide. Gary Jacobs, Ketan Patel, Alberto Succoni, Anand Lakshmanan are not only global think tanks in the field of education, research and industry, but they are also highly trained professionals and experts who got the real power of transforming young minds as creators of progressive companies and prosperity. Their interactions can produce highly skilled top executives and value-based citizens for the future. Keeping your placements and careers in mind, GIIMS and CMI will be concentrating on the need to satisfy demands of employers of multinational corporations. We have attuned our educational systems and created written standard operating procedures, keeping these higher objectives, corporate values, and placements in mind. We are going to help you in transforming as professional individuals. And in my session after the break, I'll be detailing it actually. We arrange a series of extracurricular sessions like arranging III session, III. That means Institute Industry Interface session. You will be taken to industry. The speakers will be coming from companies and industries and will be interacting you. That will be happening couple of times in a month. It will be an ongoing process actually. And we also will be doing some kind of industrial visits. There, all students will be taken to industries in and around Chennai here. And in Cochin and Trivandrum, there also we have associations. We'll be taking students there and we'll be learning about the practical scenarios, what is there in the logistics field. And there are outbound trainings, you'll be taken far off places, like what we do in Cochin is, we'll be taking them to some mountains and, personality development trainer will be there. And there are some adventurous games and everything in order to make you fit for the new world actually. And we have spoken English and Hindi sessions. Why we are learning a little bit of Hindi also is, if we know Hindi, then it is very easy for us to get placed in North India. And we do have MS Office and the SAP trainings, where teachers will be coming and training you. Every 9th day that computer training will be there. And the life skills coaching is there. Personality development trainer again will be coming and telling you and discussing with you about the different aspects of life, how we can even make life positively respond. And edutainment sessions like movies, stories, cultural and sports fest. For example, tomorrow afternoon, we have a movie to show. And the day after tomorrow also, there is a movie which we are planning along with our session, And then there are ample spaces for peer-to-peer learning, where, teamwork will be given, a joint assignment will be given for students. You can interact between each other and come and present certain things together, So that will be there, which will help you to develop yourself as a very good team player, actually. We will also have an entrepreneurship cell to help establish startups for our students. We also will provide you with facilities to earn while you learn through helping you find part-time jobs through a department called EWYL, that is Earn While You Learn. If you want a job, please approach us. There is a department in all 3 centers. They will be helping you out find a job as a part-timer while doing your education with us. We have internalized certain educational learning systems, which was developed over a period of time, and I'm sure Gary Jacobs will be explaining about that. And we have created certain unique skills within us in such a way that even simple, ordinary student can transform as extraordinary professional in any field you choose to associate with. First of all, I welcome all students of Pondicherry, Trivandrum, and Cochin campuses to undergo this miraculous phenomenon of professional transformation. We are very passionate about our limitless service, which we can offer to students all in this direction of career development. May I take this opportunity to welcome one and all present here, Dr. Gary Jacobs, deans and HODs of staff and colleagues of all the 3 institutions, parents and students. Welcome to the inaugural day of our Pondicherry batch in Logistics and Supply Chain Management, again Power 2026. Vanakkam, Namaste, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words and for clearly outlining the vision and mission of CMI. I now invite our co-founder and honorary chair, Mr. Gary Jacobs, to give the inaugural address.
Good morning, both to you who here in Pondi and the many that are online. I have addressed audiences of the GIIMS group on and off for the last 10 years. It's not a new experience for me. It's always one that gives me a great satisfaction. But I must confess that of all the inaugural programs we've had, this one has the greatest and deepest significance for me. And I'd like to take a few minutes for those of you who are not familiar with our history to explain the significance of this founding day for the Conscious Management Institute. I'm an American from California. I first came to India in May of 1971, and it has changed my life in virtually every way. And I met some remarkable people and have been inspired and learned so much that even having gone to one of the top universities in the United States, I felt there's so much that I can learn from being in India. I'm going to skip the details and jump to August 15th, 1973, which was celebration of the Independence Day, where we convened the first meeting in Pondicherry on conscious management. We called it the Consciousness Approach to Management. It's what I have learned here under the guidance of Sri Karma Yogi. And the first time we announced it to the public, and the conference was presided over by the then president of the State Bank of India, who supported our work. After that, there has been a 52-year process that has brought us to the day in which we're founding the first official institution in Pondicherry. And I'd like to just touch on a few of the landmarks of that, so you don't be under the impression that we're a new institution. This is an institution that's been building for 50 years and finally come back to its home and its origin, from which it all has sprouted in the first place. In 1975, I started publishing articles in the Indian business journals about our approach. We started dealing with some smaller, relatively small companies, most of them small companies, in South India to test our methods and see the results that could be there. We went up to companies like EID Parry, which were running the sugar plant at Nelligupam, for an example. We went to Neyveli, wasn't a small organization, which was having serious labor problems, and offered advice there. We went to Oro Foods, which was having their own problems at that time. It was then the biggest wheat mill in South India. And it went on from there. In 1980, we got our first assignment from a French multinational, a big chemical and pharmaceutical company. Their office was in Netherlands, where we applied our methods there. And from there, we started a research which you'll be hearing, our students will be hearing more and more about. Those at GIIMS have already heard a lot of it because it's become a part of the curriculum, in which we studied 20 of the most successful companies in the United States at that time. Some of them are still among the most successful companies in the world, such as Apple Computer, which was the smallest of the companies we studied at that time was Apple Computer. Nobody dreamed that it would one day become the largest corporation in the world in the process. We published a book, which you will all hear more about, and we'll be sharing the ideas from that book. In 1985, by the American Association, the American Management Association published the book. And that began our work of consulting and training and educating in the United States. In 1987, we trained an organization of 150 plus founders and entrepreneurs of retail electronics businesses throughout the United States. And that three-day program presenting our ideas, that program was so successful that they invited us back time and again over the next 10 years to train new sets of their entrepreneurs. After that, we were invited by an association called the National Tooling and Machining Association, manufacturers, also companies, entrepreneurial companies, some of them old and some of them young, but growing. And they had 1,500 members. And their program went for 5 days, and they were so pleased by the results that they too kept inviting us back over a next 10-year period until I was no longer available in the United States to come back to do more training. Meanwhile, we started consulting with larger companies, one that you all know here, Bajaj Auto. In December of 1986, I met with Rahul Bajaj in Pune at his headquarters and said, I understand you're a very fast-growing company. In fact, he had just been awarded the Businessman of the Year in India. He's a Harvard MBA. He certainly knows all the Western training. I said, for a company that's growing so fast, there must be some problems you have. We've been specializing in those types of issues, and perhaps we can help you. And he engaged us for a consulting assignment. We presented 130 recommendations for how Bajaj could grow itself. And he said he accepts all 130 of the recommendations. And over the next 2 or 3 years, in fact, they achieved the profit goals that we set for them. Why am I telling you this? My purpose is not to celebrate what we have done in the past. My purpose is to say that what we're offering here, what we want to offer to all of our students, wherever they are, whether they're in the classroom or online, whatever your field of interest is, whatever your plans are, we have something valuable that we want to share with you that you can take with you through the rest of your life, as I have been doing since I started as a youngster, at then about 28 years old. When it started. After that, we started getting larger assignments from multinational companies in Europe and the United States, the largest insurance company in the US, the largest shipping company in Netherlands, and it went on from there. And then I started becoming associated with this organization called the World Academy of Art and Science, which was founded by some of the most famous scientists in the world way back in 1960. And the president of that association was so interested in the work that we had been doing in taking these ideas into business that I was elected as a lifelong fellow of the Academy. And since then we have worked, and that organization now has about 600 members from all over the world, distinguished scientists, Nobel laureates, very famous people. One of the founders was Albert Einstein. We have a history there. And they found these ideas were very valuable. In 2000, I'm jumping a long way now. In 2004, I was asked to deliver a lecture, a management lecture, to a group of young aspirants in Madras. It was Madras at that time, not yet Chennai. And among that group was a young man called S.S. Srijit, who came up and introduced himself after the meeting, and we developed an ongoing informal relationship. So I watched his progress when he went to Taiwan to do his higher education, and when he then became a professor of logistics in Cochin at another institution, which I think was the first institution in Kochi at that time. And then in 2014, he called me up and he said, "You talked to me 10 years ago about starting my own company. You talked to me about the potential for growth and creativity. And I've waited in 10 years and I want to do it. And he founded GIIMS. He and his partners founded GIIMS at that time. And he says, can we associate with your organization? I said, if you are going to take up these ideas and practice them, what we want is we want these ideas to go to the whole world. And somebody who's committed to them, who's willing to stake their life and future on it, we will be with you. At that, the same year that he started GIIMS, the Academy started, the World University Consortium, exactly for this purpose, to disseminate these ideas on a global basis. And he was our first, not customer, partner. And we started giving certification, and we started working with GIIMS to see how we could apply the ideas we had studied for then 40 years and how we could integrate it more and more into the educational system. And then I believe it was 2018, I had an assignment to do an MBA course in Europe. And I invited Srijit to come along and be with me there and be part of that course. And when he saw how we were using this material and integrating it into the course material, he said, I want to take this back and put it into GIIMS. And since then, we've been working very closely together, and I'm very proud to have been the chair of the advisory council of GIIMS from its inception, and more contributing. How can we do this better? How can we really shape the education of the future? We've done it. It's been recognized. Srijit briefly mentioned to you in the logistics skill, in the last 10 years, the government of India has set up 17 skill councils to cover different sectors of the Indian society where there's a need for skilled people, for trained and educated and skilled people. Out of the all 37, not 17, 37 skill councils. Logistics is the largest. They have more than 2,000 partner organizations now that are training youth around India for preparation for this industry because they've identified it, government has identified it as the biggest growth industry for employment in India today. Something like some 20 million, 2 crore new students, new applicants we need in the next 5 years or something like that. And there are others. So this has become a model. When the council approached GIIMS and talked to him, why don't you become a member of our organization? We did this before the institution was even operation. We said, yes, we would like to be a member. What is required? Well, it depends on your curriculum. We have to see whether your curriculum meets our standards. And when they saw what we were already doing, they said, you don't have to meet our standards. You all already exceeded our standards, and you're doing so much more than what we're doing in all the other 2,000 organizations. Maybe we can learn from you. And they gave GIIMS a special status, which I think has only been attributed to some 30 or 35 institutions in India as a collaborating partner of the Skill Council. And most of the others, maybe all of them, are the top universities like the IITs and the IIMs. And GIIMS is the only one, a private institution, which has been recognized at that level. It's not the recognition that's important to us, it's the opportunity. Because when we started this institution, when we started our work in '73, the idea is, how can we take these ideas to all over India? We started and we proved the model in 10 years as a very successful, everybody who sees it in the council and everything, they're proud to have GIIMS among their leading members and everything. Now we want to take it to the world. Now, after 10 years, 12 years now, World University Consortium is going to set up an institution in India to help us disseminate this widely among hundreds or thousands of other organizations to prove that what we've done at GIIMS is not an isolated thing. It's not a quirk. It's something that it can be the future of India. This can educating our youth. Today, only 4.2% of the workforce in India is receiving vocational education, only 4.2%. In countries like South Korea and Taiwan and others, it's 44%, 10 times higher. Now that they have set up these 37 skill councils to do this, to help read it. But the traditional education, and I will speak about it later, the traditional education may give us the information we need to pass exams, but it doesn't give students the preparation they need for successful careers, and more importantly, to maybe someday become successful entrepreneurs as well. And that's why we're here to add on to what's already being done and show that India can be the pioneer for a new model. This is the basis and the background and the significance, and why for me, CMI this was the model. This is the successful, proven model which we've done, thanks to his entrepreneurship and dedication, and he and his partners and his staff and everything. This is the first step to go from the model to the rest of India. And you who are joining us as students are going to be the first students in a long line. And today, because we're first launching the logistics course, the program we're going to talk about is a lot centered on logistics, but I'd like to clarify, and I will speak after the inaugural again, and in more elaborately in more detail. But this education is not just meant for youth who are looking for a job, an employment in this industry or any industry for that matter. This is a program we developed for senior level managers in multinational companies. We developed it for entrepreneurs, as Srijit became, and by the way, I didn't mention, but he was the second logistics institution in Kochi, and now there are 20. Because of his model and his success, it's already multiplied tenfold. We're talking about preparing you, the students, not only to get a good job in another company, but if you're ready for it, to become higher level managers, executives, entrepreneurs. I would even say, if you're ready for it, or when you're ready for it, even if it's after 5 years or 10 years, we'll prepare you so you can be going out and teaching what we're talking about in other institutions, or becoming, as I had become, a consultant to companies at all levels. And if anybody had ever told me that one day I would be the consultant to multinational companies in India, in the US, and in Europe, I said, well, how is that? But it's possible. We know how to do it. We've already trained people for that. So what you do with this education is up to you. What you want is the important thing, whether you want it in logistics or you want it in any other field. And I'll talk more about that afterwards. This was supposed to be just the official inaugural session to launch it. And I just wanted to say why I think this is so important. It's important for us to see after 53 years where it's going. It's important for our institutions so that they flower. But it's also important for India. And that's what we're really here for. We want to do something, a message and a demonstration that can be taken to the country. So with that, I'd like to welcome all of you here and online who are joining us in this work, or have already joined with us in this work, the hardworking people at GIIMS and our new staff here for CMI. and our students who are coming. And this is only the first small step. Whether you're coming online or you're coming in the classroom, doesn't matter. We've been used to both. We will give you all we can and all you need to progress in this way. I'm honored and pleased and excited, enthused to be at this event and to work with you to see that what we've said, what we've done all this time and what I'm saying today is not a dream anymore. It's a reality, and you can be part of that reality. I'm very pleased now to officially inaugurate the first batch here at CMI, and the whole 22nd batch of the power batch, it's been called. For each of the batches, we give a name, an important name, a significant name, as to how it results in, how it directly relates to what we're teaching here. And one of the things we're teaching is power, not the power to push on people and dominate them, the power for accomplishment, the power for fulfillment in any line of, the strength in fulfillment for any line that you may choose. So welcome to you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being part of our work. And I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. We will now have a 10-minute break for refreshments. And beyond the break, we'll have our first session on the topic organization by Mr. Gary Jacobs. இப்போ பிரேக் இருக்கு, எல்லாருமே அங்க பக்கத்து ரூம்ல வந்துட்டு ரிஃப்ரெஷ்மெண்ட்ஸ் எடுத்துக்கலாம் ப்ளீஸ்.
The mentors of Cochin and Trivandrum, are you there? Cochin and Trivandrum mentors, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, speak louder. I'm not able to hear you properly. So take a break for 10 minutes and you can come back. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Take a break now for 10 minutes and you can join back. Because this is a program going on here in Pondi. We have to have a break now. Okay? Trivandrum and Cochin, take a break for 10 minutes and come back. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now we have a 1 hour session by Mr. S.S. Srijit on the topic life and accomplishments. So,
Thank you again, Shweta. So this is actually a session for students. I'm going to deal with or going to ask few questions about your life. So I need you to participate in that. Otherwise, I cannot go ahead in that. So I would like all the online participants, a huge number of online participants are here. They should also participate, and the offline students also should participate. എനിക്ക് അവളവും തമിഴ് தெரியாது, but I'll be trying to speak in Tamil also. Few things I'll be speaking in Malayalam also. Malayalam I know very well because I'm basically from Cochin. But உங்களோட participation வந்து ரொம்ப முக்கியம். The participation of all of you are very, 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 very important for this particular session. Okay. So it's only questions. Some simple questions I'll be asking, and I would like to get answers from you. From there, we can build on the accomplishments and the purpose of your life or the purpose in which you came here for and all. Okay. So my first question is, Shanima, Nirmalan Thambi, all are you able to hear this?
Yes, sir. We can hear.
Okay, thank you. My first question is this. Why did you choose a course in logistics and supply chain management to develop a career? Students who are sitting online as well as offline, direct, can speak about it. Why did you choose a course in logistics and supply chain management? எதனால நீங்க இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கோர்ஸ் எடுத்திருக்கீங்க? Okay, please tell your name. Anybody answers, please tell your name, and then you can answer. Okay, what's your name? Vetrivel. Okay, Vetri, I heard of you actually. Fine. So what is your answer, Vetri?
Industry, or I should say it's a way of communication that business can reach out to the customers.
Okay.
It can be a business to business or it can be business to customers.
Okay.
Without logistics, none of the industries can work or evolve in this.
Okay.
So it's a basic need by which we can reach the client, and mostly I would say that the same, it can be applicable for any industry, that logistics plays a very important crucial role in customer satisfaction, quality, and other perspectives.
Okay. So give Vetri a big round of applause. Why? Because he is the first person to open his mouth and tell something. You are the first student of us, who is telling something about logistics. You mean to say that, there is a great importance for logistics in this world. It is not industry specific or country specific. Every company requires that. That means you are indicating that, there are a lot of opportunities in that particular sector. That's what Vetri you are telling, right? Am I correct or not? Yes. Others, those who are sitting online also can tell. Please tell your name and define why did you join for logistics and supply chain management course. And I can understand a little bit of Hindi also. So Tamilum pesala, Malayalam venangil samsarikam, or Hindi may be baat kar sakte hain. So I can understand, or English, whatever. So be comfortable. Any language you can use, these 4 languages. Why did you choose logistics and supply chain management?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Who is this?
Kumar from GIIMS Cochin.
Kumar from Cochin. Okay. Tell me, Kumar, why did you choose this course on logistics and supply chain management?
Actually, sir, I'm interested in exports and imports.
Okay.
So I thought logistics, it's related to exports, right?
Yeah, it is related to exports as well. It is not only about exports, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I joined this course.
Okay. So you are telling Kumar that, you heard about logistics. It is connected with international business. You are mentioning about import exports. You like import exports and you want to establish a career in import exports. And that's why you choose this particular program, right? Is that you are
That's
telling?
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Kumar. In that class, we can give Kumar also a big round of applause. Okay, it's not here, you cannot see, but he's here. Okay. Others, I need some 3 or 4 answers more. Then I can ask my second question. It is more of a question answer. I'm not going to tell anything if you are not answering. We can stand like this, silent. Don't fear, okay? Openly you can tell. Trivandrum Center, anyone from Cochin again or from Pondicherry? If you're not telling answers, I'll put my fingers on you and you have to tell.
Hello. Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Who is this?
This is Baiju Kumar Dev.
Vijay Kumar?
No, Baiju Kumar Dev from Nepal.
Baiju Kumar. Okay, Baiju Kumar.
Uh,
You are from?
okay. Nepal, sir.
You are from Nepal. I know that, you are a student here in Pondi. Yes.
Yes.
Tell me, why did you
Okay.
join this course?
I now have to enroll in logistic and supply chain management,
Yeah,
and which is the planning, execution, and
yeah,
management of the effective flow of product, service,
yeah.
and information from point of origin to point of consumption in order to meet customer needs. So I
Okay.
have joined.
Oh, that's a good definition for logistics. Is there any personal reason why you joined from Nepal? I know that we have a couple of international students who joined with us. Is there anything
Yes.
specific or personal to you to choose this particular logistics? You defined it very good, actually. Maybe just like Vetri here in Pondy, you're also telling that, there are a lot of opportunities in this sector, and that's why you joined for this.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other person, 1 or 2 persons more? We have two international students this time. Both are from Nepal who joined actually. Initial days they will be there online, and later on they will come here in the campus actually. Okay, yes.
Good morning, sir.
Wonderful. Give him a big round of applause. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lokesh. Yes, Lokesh. Oh, foreign trade. Very good. Okay. I am also an MBA in foreign trade. Yeah. Okay. 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 So you are interested in that foreign thing, foreign trade and all. Okay. Your name again? I'm sorry. Lokesh. Okay. So give Lokesh again a big round of applause. Lokesh joined this program because he was doing a BCom foreign trade and his teachers inspired him. And he understood about foreign exchange, some basics about international business scenario in his BCom class, and started developing a passion towards that particular subject, foreign trade. And that's why you choose to join this particular program. Wonderful, Lokesh. Okay. So, couple of answers I can take. Anyone from Trivandrum? I am yet to hear from Trivandrum Center. Nirmalan Thambi and Athira, you are there in Trivandrum? Your students are speaking. Any answers from there?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Good morning. Who is this?
Yeah, my name is Avinash. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
You are from Andhra Pradesh. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Avinash, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Avinash, from where you are speaking? From Cochin or from Trivandrum?
I'm taking a recently. I took an admission in Cochin GIIMS.
Ah. Okay, I heard that, from Hyderabad also one person is there. Yes, Avinash, can you tell me the reason? Why did you join for this course?
Actually, I completed my graduation in BBA and logistics, and actually, I have some experiences in working in warehouse sectors and export and imports.
Okay.
I need to depthly and I need to explore in supply chain management and logistics with the elaborately. That's why I'm
Okay.
taking the gyms in Cochin. I want to
Okay.
explore more and more about the logistics
Yeah.
for the purpose of.
Okay. So you know about the opportunities in that sector. How many months you worked in warehouse and actually after completing your degree?
Actually, I take 13 months.
13 months you worked with the warehouse in Hyderabad or in some other place?
No, in Karnataka, in Bangalore.
Karnataka, Bangalore you worked actually. Okay. So you wanted to continue with this education because you're also telling that, there are opportunities. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. What are the opportunities you found actually?
Uh,
Yeah.
Warehouse Association in TL. Actually, I completed my internship programs and apprenticeship programs in provided from the Andhra, my college.
Okay. Yeah. And you want to get into a job and establish a career in this field, right?
Yeah, I have actually I got a placement in my Bangalore, but
Okay.
I want looking for the MBA. That's why I'm taking the.
Okay. This part. And you want to get higher up in your ladder, actually, career ladder, right?
Yeah, that's.
Okay. Thank you very much, Avinash, right? Your name?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Give Avinash a big round of applause. Avinash also, just like Lokesh, he completed his degree in logistics and related area. And after completing that, he went into Karnataka. Bangalore, he was working for 13 months. He understood about the different scope and opportunities of the sector. And then he wanted to go higher up in the ladder, so he joined for a postgraduate program in logistics and supply chain management. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Suganya, are you there? Sukanya? Sukanya, you're online? Shanima, is there any other answers from Cochin?
No, sir.
Okay. Any more answers from Trivandrum?
Morning, sir.
Yeah, hi.
My name is Vishnu Prasad from Trivandrum.
Yeah, what is your name again? Can you say your name again?
Vishnu Prasad.
Krishna Prasad, yes. Krishna Prasad, tell me, why did you choose
Vishnu
this
Prasad,
program?
sir. Vishnu Prasad.
Vishnu Prasad, I'm sorry. Okay. Vishnu, tell me, why did you join for this program?
Because of high job stability and lots of opportunities for logistics. Nowadays, we need logistics for everything in business.
So
Daily life.
for a very good job and higher opportunities you are finding in this sector, and that's why Vishnu Prasad is joining for this program, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay, if I ask this question again and again with the more and more people, I have more questions to ask. Only I heard from Venkat and Lokesh from here. I want to hear from others also. What we will tell in Tamil, kochikadinga. What is that? Huh? Don't mistake, not kovichikadinga. Don't be shameful, actually. What is that? Yeah, கூச்சமா ஃபீல் பண்ணாதீங்க. I'm sorry, I don't know that particular word, So கூச்சமா ஃபீல் பண்ணாதீங்க. நீங்க ஓப்பனா பேசுங்க. Okay, രണ്ട് മൂന്ന് questions കൂടെ ഇருக்கு. I just want you to discuss everything actually. What is there in your mind? We just want to know. நம்ம எல்லா கிளாஸும் இப்படிதான் இருக்கும். நீங்க வந்து ஆக்டிவா பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ண வேண்டியதா இருக்கு. No, passive, you cannot sit passively there, you know. That is not our way of education. You have to actively participate, you have to interfere, you have to debate, you can ask questions, you can challenge us. You challenge us, you know, sir, you are wrong. This is my opinion, you know, like that, you know. So from the first day itself, we want you to get accustomed with that system, which is not there in our Indian scenarios, actually. Okay. So as far as, you know, most of you are concerned or all of you are concerned, you joined for this particular program in order to create a kind of success in your life. Am I telling correct? You know, you want to develop a career. You understood that, you know, a lot of opportunities are there. And somebody told that, you know, high paid jobs are available in logistics. நம்ம லோகேஷ் கூட பார்த்தா வந்து, you know, Lokesh joined for this program, understanding about this sector very well through his bachelor degree program, and he wanted to do a PG program. Another person also with some 13 months of experience joined for this program, understanding the opportunities. In one way, we are all telling. I also joined for this program, you know, 25 years back, with the same thing, you know, what is this international business all about? It will be a good sector. We can find out very good jobs. So in one way, we have something inside that is called, you know, we are searching for a kind of success in our life. Am I correct, Rangan? Yes, we are all searching for a success, create success in our life. Asar joined with us, you know, Asar is a staff of CMI, but, you know, he was there in Cochin. He studied with us 1 year and he was in Bangalore for some time. He came to Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry and he worked again with some of the organization. Then when we started, you know, I called Asar to come here, you know, and he showed a lot of interest to join with us. So opportunities are there immense, and that's why people are joining for a course in logistics and supply chain management. You also joined exactly for that, in order to create success in our life. Success is a marvel term, right? Vetri. Oh, your name is Vetri, you know. So I'm telling about Vetri, you know, to create success. നമ്മൾ അതിനാല് தான் ജോയിൻ பண்ணிയിരിക്കുക. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, ഈ ഒരു കോഴ്സ്. So my second question is now, don't be shameful, you know, you speak whatever you want to speak. There is nothing wrong and right here. We are just explaining about our thoughts, you know, emotions. So I want that to happen. My second question is, what is success for you? Now I want to define success personally, you know. What is that personal success for you? When I asked this question to my last year batch, you know, one of the person told that, you know, sir, I want to, you know, get into a job of above 1 lakh rupees. I want to buy an apartment. I want to get into a car. When I come out of my organization, you know, there should be a driver standing for me, you know, and I'm traveling in a Benz car, you know, this is success for me, you know. He explained like anything. I congratulated him, you know. It is very specific, you know, whatever it may be, it is very, very specific. So I want that specific answers. I don't want anybody to, what you call, philosophically answer about defining about success like William Shakespeare or, you know, famous poets. I don't want anybody to tell like that, success is that, this and all, you know. No. What is specific to you? What is personal success for you? I just want to. Can you start telling the answers? What is personal success for? Yes, Trivandrum, Cochin and Ponti. All of you can answer. What is success for you personally? Wonderful, you know. Prosperity. Now, Vetri, I know one person here, Vetri, is telling that prosperity, creating prosperity is success for him. Can you define prosperity, Vetri? What is prosperity for you?
Being successful in yoga and go.
Again, you are going to William Shakespeare, you know. I want quantifiable answers, you know, so that everyone can understand. Quantify it, no problem.
Be living a happy life with our family, not spending a good peaceful time with ourselves. I got us the prosperity.
Okay. This is a wonderful answer Vetri is giving, you know. Everyone will applaud, but I will not. Why? Because you are telling something, you know, happiness. You have to define what will make you happy. You told prosperity. What is prosperity? Quantifiable. In quantities, I want to know. That is what is called personal success, actually. You know, somebody told me that, you know, if a salary gets success, I'm really happy because it is quantifiable. You want to become a CEO. Congratulations. So Vetri want to become a CEO, Chief Executive Officer of a company. That means he is dreaming of a salary above 1 lakh or 6 digits. That is what is, you know, Vetri is telling, and that is success for him. Others, what is success for you? We'll get some 3-4 answers. From Cochin, any answer? See, for Vishnu Prasad, Vetri, Lokesh, and you know, Avinash, you know, it is easy for them to answer. Why? Because they already opened their mouth. Already பேசியாச்சு. இனிமேலே வெற்றி கொஞ்சம் சும்மா இருங்க, பேசாம இருங்கன்னு சொல்றதுதான் கஷ்டமா இருக்கும். Because அவருக்கு பேசுறது ஆரம்பிச்சாச்சு, you know, they started talking. So I want everyone to open your mouth and express yourself, you know, what is success for you personally. Yes, Shanima, any answers from there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is, who wanted to answer, you know? Tell him to come in front of the laptop and answer.
Yes. എൻ്റെ പേര് ദിയ.
Yeah, Meera. Okay. So Meera, where you are from basically?
മീര അല്ല, ദിയ.
Bia. B-I-Y-A. Am I correct?
DIYA.
Dia. Okay, fine. Dia, tell me, what is success for you?
സക്സസ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ നമുക്ക് ക്രിയേറ്റിവിറ്റി വേണം. നമ്മൾ ജെന്യുവൻ ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ നമ്മുടേതായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു വിഷന് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ സക്സസ് ആവും.
Okay. That is again, you are defining what is success, you know, definition of success. But I'm asking a very personal question. For if someone want to call Dia as a very successful person, what you should achieve in your life, you know, that's what I'm asking. You ever thought of it?
എനിക്ക് എന്റേതായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്, ഞാൻ അതിനകത്തൂടെയാണ് സക്സസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളത്.
So now you don't have a personality of yours? Yes, Dia?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Quantifiable ആയിട്ട് കുറച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയാമോ?
പറയാം.
Yeah.
ഒരു ഐഡിയാസ് ഉണ്ട്.
Ideas create ചെയ്യണം, and the idea which are you telling about, you want to work out an idea which is coming to your mind?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that means you are telling that you have to start your own business or entrepreneurship. Is that success for you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Dia. Dia is mentioning that, you know, she is not able to come up very, you know, easily. But one or the other way, she is telling, she was speaking to me in Malayalam. She was telling that, you know, I have to create some idea and work for it. That means she is indicating that she may want to start an entrepreneurship. You know, that is success for her. That is also good. Others? Yeah, a lot of people are sitting here. Yes, yes. Two of you. Yes, one. We'll start from here and I'll come there. Okay. What is your name, gentlemen? Yeah? Segan. Segan. Okay, Segan. Yes, Segan. Okay, you are a chef actually. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Your name again? Your name? Huh? Segan. Okay. So give Segan a big round of applause. He is opening his heart and mind. Students who are sitting online, what Segan is telling is clearly he is a chef in a restaurant here, and he wanted to establish his own business, maybe in restaurant field itself, right? Huh? Bangalore or somewhere he wanted to go, and he would like to start his own restaurant or any other business for that matter. But his dream or his definition of success is becoming an entrepreneur. He is very clear about it. I would like to congratulate him again, for that clarity actually. Any others? Yes, gentlemen.
Morning, sir.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Sedian. Huh? Sedian. Okay, Sedian. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry for it. Yeah. Okay. So that is success for you. Give me a big round of applause. So we have a person here, an young boy, who got other dreams also. He's taking the responsibility of the entire family because his father and mother are no more. They met with an accident last year and passed away. But he wanted to take the total responsibility of the family. And his sister is also here. He want to get his sister also, got married. All these responsibilities he want to take. He want to create prosperity, just like Vetri is telling, and that's why he joined for this particular program. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, Sunil Kumar. Yes, Sunil Kumar. Yeah. 4 years. 2 years you worked already. Okay. 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 Sunil, what exactly you are dreaming for? Is it a salary? How much is the salary? Or can you explain a little more about it so that things will be very clear? Yeah. நீங்க வந்து இப்போ நல்லொரு salary package வரணும், நல்லொரு job கிடைக்கணும், அதெல்லாம் நீங்க சொல்லிச்சு. But எங்க work பண்ணணும்? You want to work foreign or, can you explain it more, further so that, I'll be able to understand, we'll be able to understand your aspiration, your dream actually. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So he selected a program like this because he got a dream that, he can work outside also, in abroad also, foreign countries. He want to explore the opportunities worldwide. That is success for him actually. For Sunil Kumar, that is success for him, to explore various opportunities all around the world, Okay, give again a big round of applause. Anyone online? Yeah, here. Yes. 1 second, I'll come there. Okay, yeah. Vaibhav. Vaibhav, yeah, Vaibhav. Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Give him a big round of applause, although he joins for another program offered by us. He got a clear picture in his mind that, he want to experience life in his fullest way, and also wanted to help his father. His father got already a business, and to raise that business to a different level, that is why he joined for this particular program. Wonderful, wonderful. Somebody was there from online, answering something.
Good morning, sir.
Who was it and what was the answer? Yeah.
I'm Ansia from Cochin Batch.
Alencia?
Ansia.
Ansia from Cochin. Yes, Ansia.
Sir, എൻ്റെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ഒരു സക്സസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാല് ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ ഇലക്ഷന് പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്തായിരുന്നു.
You were a candidate in the election?
ഞാൻ വിൻ ചെയ്തു.
Oh, you won as councillor?
Ward councillor.
So we have a ward councillor also. She stood for the election and won the election, and she is coming here to study. So what will happen to your panchayat or village? You are not there as councillor, right?
Right.
Okay, you are from where actually? Which part of Kerala?
Attani, Ernakulam.
Attani from Cochin, right? Aluva Attani or Kakanad Attani?
Aluva Attani.
Aluva Attani. Okay, fine. Near the airport. Okay, fine. Yes. So what is success for you? Can you tell me that you already tasted success in politics, but what exactly is success for you?
ചോദിച്ചാ ഇല്ല, ഞാൻ കോളേജില് ഇതുപോലെ ചെയർപേഴ്സൺ ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ ആ ഒരു ഇതിൽ നിന്നാണ് ഞാൻ വാർഡില് നിന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അതിലും
So you already won an election in college level, and now you are winning an election in the ward level. You are a councillor. And what do you want to become? Chief Minister of Kerala or Prime Minister of India? We are looking. What is success for you? Yeah? So you wanted to openly tell, and see that you want to become the Chief Minister of Kerala. Wonderful. Give her a big round of applause. So her aim is, she had tasted already 2 successes, one in college level as a college candidate, chairperson. Now in the local body election, she's a councillor and came and joined for our program. And I prompted her, and she is telling that she wants to become the Chief Minister of Kerala. Wonderful. All the best. I'm grateful that I'm getting a future Chief Minister as my student, actually.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining our course, Ansia. Thank you very much. Okay. So if I extend this question to everyone, even parents can answer. Not only students, anybody can answer this. Ellarkittume or answer irukku. Enna success? Namakku, what is success for us? Many people will quantify it and tell, just like I told, 7 lakhs rupees salary, 5 lakh rupees salary, getting an apartment, buying a new car, buying a bike. I'm telling about the material prosperity, we can start from there. There is no harm in, or there is nothing wrong in, dreaming about those things. My third question is, if at all we are in consensus that you join for a program in logistics and supply chain management in order to create success in your life, I think that we are in consensus. Trivandrum, we are in consensus, right? Pondicherry people are telling we are in consensus. And Cochin also, I think, we are in consensus that we join for this program to create success in our life, to create prosperity in our life, establishing a career in our life. And you are telling creating victory or success is our motto. And that's why we choose a very special program called Logistics and Supply Chain Management, or my friend, Conscious Management, for that matter, with the CMI. If that is that we are all agreeing, I would like to know about, is there any formula for creating success? നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കുമേ വന്ന് സക്സസ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് பண்ணണം. നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും സക്സസ് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെടുക്കണം. ഐ എം ആസ്കിങ് എ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഫോർമുല ഉണ്ടോ? ഇസ് ദർ എനി ഫോർമുല ഫോർ ക്രിയേറ്റിംഗ് സക്സസ്? ஏதாவது ஃபார்முலா இருக்கீங்களா சக்சஸ் கிரியேட் பண்றதுக்கு? So that is my third question. Is there any formula or mantra for success? If beam boom ba is the mantra, then we can, from morning to evening, I'll tell beam, boom, ba, success will come, right? So whatever it may be, if there is a formula, if there is a mantra for success, we can do it. We can practice it and create success. According to you, what is the formula for success? I would like you to participate again. Yes. Yes, gentlemen. Sai Aditya. Okay, Sai. Yes.
Be dedicated and
Wonderful. Sai Aditya is telling that, in order to create success, we should be very systematic, disciplined, and at the same time, we should be dedicated, fully dedicated to something. Wonderful. We'll hear from others, what they are telling about the formula of success. Others. Anybody can, Yes, you want to tell something? I want to hear. Yeah.
success not formal times and different attitude.
Okay. ஆனாலும் சக்சஸுக்கு ஏதாவது ஃபார்முலா இருக்கா? நம்ம இது பண்ணா சக்சஸ் ஆயிடும். இல்லாட்டி we may get success through this. Like that, something is there. Cochin, Shanima, I want to be here. I want to be near to the laptop actually and tell the answers what students are telling. Okay.
Sir.
And Trivandrum Center also, Nirmalan Thampi or Atira. Please come near to the laptop and tell me the answers what students are telling. What is the formula for success? Idu panna success vandidum. Idu cheydal namakku success kittum. What is that actually? Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, somebody is here. I'll come back to you. Yes. Yeah.
So this is Vishnu from GIIMS Cochin.
Yeah, Vishnu.
So according to me, the mantra for success is like, apart from hard work, smart work, motivation and all, consistency and discipline. Like whatever we are doing, consistency, discipline matters the most.
Okay. Give me a wonderful round of applause. So what Vishnu is telling that, motivation is important, discipline is important, but as far as he is concerned, consistent performance makes us or creates a success. Consistency means நம்ம இன்னைக்கு பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறது நாளைக்கும் பண்ணணும், அது கொஞ்சம் கூட குவாலிட்டியா பண்ணணும், எப்பவுமே பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கணும். It is not like one day we are doing and second day we are forgetting about it. So a kind of consistency is required in performances in order to create success. That's a wonderful answer. Can we get a few more answers? Throw your answers just like that. Yes. You have a one-word answer or a two-word answer? Yeah, adan kekren. Muerchi, you want to try. You want to do a hard work. Or, hard work is the formula for success is what, what is your name again? Ramkumar. Ramkumar is telling hard work creates success for our lives. Any answers from Trivandrum?
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Keep the way, never give up.
Yeah.
I'm Stella Maria from Cochin.
Stella from Cochin. Yeah. Yes.
The mantra for success is keep the way, never give up. For me.
Okay. That's what Stella is believing in. Stella is telling that never give up. Never give up. Give Stella a big round of applause. Never give up, You are trying something, working hard, you are not giving up, and that will create a kind of success for you is what she is telling. So let us, let me tell about, how can we create success? Or I would like to ask one more thing. Where success starts from? Starts from failure or Lokesh? Lokesh is telling success starts from failure. That is his opinion. Okay. Where actually success starts from? We have seen lot of successful people. Rajinikanth is a successful person. Mohanlal Mammootty is a successful person. Asim Premji is a successful person. Steve Jobs, Sachin Tendulkar, Ronaldo, or Messi, footballers, they're all successful people. And we can find successful people among our family, in our neighborhood. Okay. Among us, successful people are there. from where this success starts from. So we'll get into that formula. Where this success starts from. Success engage ஆரம்பிக்கும். Yes? How much time I have? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm asking about the starting point of success. I would like to, because of the time factor, thank you for that answer, actually. Because of the time factor, I would like to discuss, in detail about the formula of success. My dear friends, success starts within. Success starts within. അത് നമുക്കുള്ളേന്താ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് பண்ணணும். അത് നമ്മുടെ അകത്തുനിന്നാണ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. And in order to create, a success in our life, we have to have the first, I'm defining the formula. We have to have a dream and an aspiration. We should develop a dream and an aspiration. நம்ம ஒரு கனவு பார்க்கணும், ஒரு ட்ரீம் பார்க்கணும், ஒரு aspiration இருக்கணும். Aspiration is something different from, dream actually. Aspiration means there's a force also in that actually. So it starts within actually. நமக்குள்ளால் தான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணணும். நீங்க தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டிசைட் பண்ணணும். Okay. நமக்கு சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் ஆகணும். You define that success. When I heard this this session, some 20-25 years back, then I wrote it in a diary, what is success for me. I quantified everything. This much of salary. That time I wrote it like, 1 lakh rupee salary and all. Initially, it was just 10,000, in 2000. Then after some time, after getting some knowledge, I increased a bit, added a zero. That means, I want to get into a 1 lakh rupee salary. I want to buy an apartment. I want to get this thing. I want to start my own business like that. So we can consciously and purposefully, even if it is not coming, naturally and organically, you can start visualizing for something, aspiring for something, dreaming for something within, and that is the starting point of your success. You ask Sachin Tendulkar, you know about Virat Kohli, you know about another cricketer called Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Now Dhoni's movie was there, the Tamil version also was there, and the Hindi and Malayalam versions were there. In that we can see that as working as a station master or ticket checker actually, right? Okay, TTR, we call it as in train. He wanted to get into Indian team. He was practicing like anything, Any person for that matter, whether it is Steve Jobs or Yusuf Ali or Asim Premji or the people I have referred previously, any person for that matter, all their success start from the dream and the real aspiration, that emotional aspiration, what they developed actually. So aspiration, my dear friends, is the starting points. And I'm telling you once again that success starts within. அது உங்களோட பேரண்டில் இருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாது. அது உங்களோட நைபரில் இருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாது. It will not start from your neighbor. It will not start from your father. It will not start from your brother. It starts within you as an individual actually, அது நமக்குள்ளே தான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும். எப்போவாது அது ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும். கண்டிப்பா அது ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும், Definitely it will get started. Sometime in your life it will. But I am telling you, we can create success within some days. I'm going to explain it, Short span of time நமக்கு success create பண்ணணும். அதோட system இங்க இருக்கு. CMI இருக்கு, GIIMS இருக்கு. Okay. So it starts with aspiration and start with dreams. And second thing what we need is, a kind of a positive mental attitude. If you develop a dream, if you develop an aspiration, then the second thing what you can develop is an unwavering attitude for that. Like, my friend told, or a friend from online told that, never give up. Persistent and with consistency, with our hard work and muerchi, we have to try for it, and we have to develop a kind of attitude for that. Attitude, Tamil word? What is the Tamil word for attitude? Nokam, we have to have that kind of in Malayalam it is called manobhava. Okay? Aspiration means, namakuru ichha shakti avashyamana. Then attitude means, a kind of manobhavam, or, a kind of nokam. Okay, fine. Okay. So attitude is the second thing what we need, I'm defining the formula for success. Third thing is, what is important is you have your dream, you developed a kind of attitude. Then the third thing what we want to do is taking a decision. Decision, Tamil? Mudivu. Okay? Malayalathala Thirumanam. Thirumanam. Okay. So we wanted to take a Thirumanam. We have to take a decision. Like, you people, with all your thoughts and the things, you decided that you want to get into a logistics and supply chain management or for conscious management course, that's a decision. We have to some point of our life take a decision that I'm going to do this. In 2014, I called Dr. Gary Jacobs and told that, sir, I'm getting good salary and all, but I'm going to leave the job. I'm going to leave the job. Sir encouraged me, but my parents told, why you are going to leave the job? Job. So I told him that, I wanted to start something by myself. I never had money for that actually, but money came. Everything will come when we decide on something, and decision got some power actually, Our batch name is also power. Decision, when we decide on something, we can act on it actually. So that decision is important. Summa namma on the dream pandit irundha pathadu. Just like dreaming is not that, daydreaming is not enough actually. We have to develop an attitude. We have to decide on things. I'm starting an entrepreneurship firm, or I'm getting into Dubai and going to work in some place. I'm going to Australia. No, US is the best place, Let me take a decision to go to US, try for the visa. So some kind of decision we have to make, and those decisions are very powerful actually. And finally, the fourth point, then we have to vehemently act on it. You have your dream, you have your aspiration, then you have the right attitude, you made decisions in your life, then sitting simply and sleeping in sofa will not fetch anything. In this planet Earth, everything comes physically, and we have to act on it actually. Vehemently act on it, systematically act on it, plan on it, and in this way the success comes actually. There are other deeper ways also, but I'm stopping it here. If we have time, we can discuss about other things later on. But this is where you want to start. Start for aspiring and dreaming for something. My dear friends, I'm stopping my thing after the next slide. I would like you to do certain actions. I'm taking the action point out, and will be explaining about what you wanted to do and how we are going to help you out in developing that actually. Okay. So actions, I would like to describe the actions if it is visible. First and foremost action you want to do is, or while you are here in our campus, either in Trivandrum campus or Cochin campus or Pondicherry campus, you have to develop a kind of communication skill so that you can communicate to the world. So adanaala dhaan na first le vandu neenga pesinga nu solren. We want to open our mouth and start discussing about things with people, especially with trainers. Then trainers will understand you. There is no harm in understanding that we are telling something wrong or bit of foolishness. No problem. But we have to start speaking. So communication is very much important, and English being an important language and a business language world over, we have to practice practice English actually. So I'm telling about the spoken English, undergo a spoken English program. And we have our Pooja here, she's actually a master's in English and got a lot of experience. And she'll be coming every 9th day and taking a 2.5 hour session for spoken English actually. So that communication is very much important. Action. Second action is, at the same time, you want to develop certain social skills. It is not only the communication, we have to develop certain social skills in such a way that we can meet with people. If at the time of interview, give a shake hand and you can ask, how are you, sir? Like that, we should develop certain personality traits in us. Some personality development should be there within us so that, we can develop those social skills, and those social skills are very much important. My dear friends, it is easy to get into a company, but if you want to go up in the ladder, you should know how to manage your boss, manage your colleagues, manage your subordinates, So that social skill is very much important. So please start learning about that here itself in our campus. We will have an excellent personality development trainer, very famous person who have trained around maybe 1.5 to 2 lakhs people. Devakani is her name. She will be coming here and taking class in every 9th day. Every 9th day, she will be coming and taking personality development classes for it. So that is the second thing what you want to develop. And third thing, of course, in logistics and supply chain management, there are 6 major subjects, fundamentals of logistics. We have to understand. Just like if you are telling, cricket, then you know what is LBW. You know what is, run out. You know what is long on, long off, catch, bowled, everything you know. Just like that, you should know about the fundamentals of logistics and supply chain management. You should know about the foreign trade. International business, we are going to learn here. The import procedures, export procedures. You should know about planet Earth, the geography, where are the seas, where the ship goes, sea routes. Then where are the airports? How many international airports are here in India? There are 450 airports here now in India, actually. So we should know about the planet Earth, actually, how the geography is. And bit of mathematics also. In the sense, in logistics, you should know how millimeters are converted into centimeters, centimeters into kilometers, liter to, the other thing, hectare to acre, liter to milliliter and all. So like that, we should know about certain things. Then only we can, if this is a ship, how much load we can make it inside, then you should know about the distance, the time, the space, and the calculations, that is a basic need for any logistician for that matter. That we will be teaching. Then freight transport related, there is a airport related thing, or air cargo operations are there. Sea cargo through ship, operations are there. Then dangerous goods are getting moved from one place to another place. That we should know. Like that, the transport mechanisms we should understand. There are, very special people, specially trained people who are going to come and take classes for you in that. And Professor Murugan is there, he's coming and taking classes for you. And every 9th day, the class repeats actually, okay? So like that, you should have a very good understanding about all these things, business environment, warehouse and distribution, fundamentals of logistics. You should have an overview of logistics and supply chain management. That is important. And forget about getting into a job. But forget about a job if you are not an expert in MS Office, computers, and fundamentals of SAP and all. That's why we have computer labs in every place, more computers are going to come here. So here, just like a computer center, about NIT, Aptech and all, just like a computer center, we are going to teach you, the basics of MS Office and how to handle computers. That is very important. And most of the companies, the software used are SAP. So you should not, you don't want to get accustomed with the SAP software development and all that engineers will do, but we should know how to use SAP, materials management, So those classes will be there. And that also happens every 9th day. If there is today, there is a computer class, after 9 days, another computer class will be there. Like that, it goes for a year's time. And also, you should learn about the teamwork. I told in the beginning speech, inaugural speech itself, that welcome speech itself, that we have enough avenues where peer-to-peer learning is there. Pondicherry team will be joining sometime with Trivandrum or Cochin team will be joining with Pondi, and we will create certain groups in such a way that interactions are possible among yourself. Okay, and that will create a kind of develop in you a kind of teamwork and a team performances actually. And I would also like to say that as youngsters, you should be always cheerful. Okay, this cheerfulness is also a quality which we can build. Cheerfulness is a quality which we can build. When company people come for interview, if they are finding a person very joyful and cheerful, they will recruit them. They are not worried about your knowledge and all. Oh, ரொம்ப ஸ்மார்ட்டா இருக்கு, நல்ல பேசுறாரு, ரொம்ப ஸ்மைல் பண்ணி தான் பேசுறாரு. That cheerfulness is very much important, and people are looking for such kind of people actually. So being cheerful, then being smart and energetic also. Our batch name itself is power. We have to be very energetic and smart. So all these things, these are the actions you should do for some time actually, starting from today. And normally what will happen, what can you do to make your hopes come into reality? I'm telling you, you don't want to wait for 5 years or 7 years or 4 years or 10 years to create success. I'm going to speak in Tamil also because Tamil students are sitting here. இப்போ ரொம்ப நாளுக்கு முன்னாடி எல்லாம் நம்ம ஒரு ட்ரீம் பார்த்தா அது 10 வருஷம் 15 வருஷம் அந்த ட்ரீமில் இருந்தா தான் அது முடியும். இப்போ அப்படி இல்லை. இப்போ எல்லாமே ரிமோட்டு, எல்லாமே ஈஸி கொஞ்சம். I'm telling you, if you are very systematic and fully involved in the trading activity, what we are going to do, believe us, in 100 days you can start creating success. ரொம்ப நாளொന്നും வெயிட் பண்ண வேண்டாம். ரொம்ப நாளொന്നും வெயிட் பண்ணி இருக்க வேண்டாம். You will be in the track in 100th day actually. But you should systematically follow, for example, there are pre-assignments to do, there are post-assignments to do, classroom discussion will be there, sirs will be telling you to go and watch a movie and come to the class. You actively believe that system, actively participate in that system. My dear friends, I guarantee you that in the 100th day, your success will start, or you will be in the right track to crack an interview or to develop your career. This is, I'm not telling just like that. This is because I have trained around 5,000 plus students personally. This was a first class. Every class, this is the thing which I am telling. If people can move with us, believe in our system, procedures, follow the standard operating procedures, what we are going to, implement in the class, 100 days we can make that possible actually. In the success, if you are moving towards success, we are planning towards success, you are going to discipline yours for success, the first and foremost thing normally comes to your mind is a kind of fear. கொஞ்சம் பயம் வரும். ஐயோ நம்மளால சக்சஸ் பண்ண முடியுமா? 1 லட்சம் ரூபாய்க்கு மேல எல்லாம் நான் ட்ரீம் பண்றேன், அது வர முடியுமா? இதெல்லாம் பண்ணா அது கிடைக்குமா? நான் ஃபெயில் ஆக என்ன ஆகும்? So these are certain things, which naturally comes to our mind. Some kind of fear, some kind of doubt. So I would like to tell you that any training program happens in a very peaceful atmosphere actually. What we should bring first within us is this, a kind of an unshakable peace. Peace, Tamil? അമൈതി. നമുക്കൊരു സമാധാനം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ആവശ്യമാണ് ആദ്യം. ഒരു ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിൽ നമ്മൾ അണ്ടർവെന്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ സമാധാനം വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആണ്. യു ഹാവ് ടു എസ്റ്റാബ്ലിഷ് ദാറ്റ് പീസ് ആക്ച്വലി, that peaceful mind and consistency is very much important, which is incapable of reaction. கொஞ்சம் ரிசர்வா இருக்கிறது நல்லது. எல்லாத்துக்கும் போய் நம்ம தலை வைக்க வேண்டாம். கொஞ்சம் ரிசர்வா இருக்குங்க. கேரியர் எல்லாம் டெவலப் பண்ணோம்னா நம்ம கொஞ்சம் டிசிப்ளின்டா இருக்கணும், ஃபோக்கஸ்டா இருக்கணும். நான் ரியாக்ஷன் வி கேன் ப்ராக்டிஸ். சும்மா போய் எல்லாத்துக்கும் போய் ரியாக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க வேண்டாம். பொலிட்டிக்ஸ்ல அது நடக்குது. DMK is doing this thing, ADMK is doing this, CPM is doing this. Let them do what we want to. Don't go for a kind of reaction. That non-reaction also we should practice. And the third thing we should practice is an unending patience. You can even call for that, to the universe. Patience, porumai. So, samadhana, peace, nidanam, porumai, non-reaction, not reaction. What is non-reaction? Everyone can understand non-reaction actually. Okay. Samadhanam, he is telling, Okay. And a kind of ever-expanding cheerfulness. Another ever-expanding cheerfulness. If you have joy and you are jumping around, that will be good. You have joy and you are not stopping it, you are jumping around in cheerfulness, That is also, a cheerfulness is also essential. So peace, non-reaction, patience, and a kind of cheerfulness can, take your fear out of you actually. This is consciously practice, we can consciously practice it. And when we start practicing it, it will actually come to us, that is for sure. Okay. So in that way, we can take fear out of our thing. My dear friends, this is what I want to talk to you as a beginning session. I hope you enjoyed the last 45 minutes. And I'll be continuing this session in my next class. My class is about green revolution, development of agriculture and power of organization, which I'll be taking in the next class. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks.
While I'm getting my presentation, I'd like you all, whether you're here or online or in Cochin or Trivandrum, please stand up. Can you give me my presentation? Turn to your neighbor and just talk to each other for 2 minutes on what you think, what you like, what you want, what questions you have still. Just, and while I'm setting up, relate to each other something. What did you hear? What was interesting? What do you doubt? What do you question? Where do you wonder? Is this really possible? Whatever it is, just turn to each other and exchange while we're setting this up for 2 minutes and get a little circulation. Srijit has circulated things in your mind and your heart. Now circulate a little in your body. I want to make a change. Don't shoot. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. I need to make a change. I need to move things. Please go it out of presentation mode so I can adjust things. That's what I need. My notes? My notes? That's what I want. Now you can, yeah, okay, show. Thank you. Okay, so it's shown, this is right. Okay. Hello. Okay. If you can sit down now and let's continue. Srijit actually has started talking to you about what I want to talk to you now, but in a very practical way, illustrating what we mean in the title of our organization, conscious management. What do we mean by conscious management? After all, in order to do it, we can't manage when we're asleep, when we're unconscious. So isn't consciousness just something we take for granted? Without being conscious, how can we manage anything? How can we do anything? How can we learn anything? How can we achieve anything? So is that really what this is about? Or is there something more to that? And it raises a question that maybe has come to your mind. How are they going to do this? How are they going to teach us to do all of these things? How are we going to learn how to do it? So I want to take a few minutes to explain to you about what do we mean by conscious management education? What's the difference between the education as we're doing here, as we're doing at GIIMS? And how are we going to accomplish that? How are you going to accomplish this in your life? So what is conscious management education? I'm going to tell you the way I understand it. The first thing about it is, and I hope I don't disappoint anybody, we haven't invited you here to learn about a subject, whether it's logistics or something else. You will certainly learn about a subject, don't worry about it, but that's not our objective. You are our objective. You are the subject. This is a person-centered education. The goal of this is not to get a lot of information, to get in an exam, so that you can go to and get a job and show people that you've memorized all of the things that you learned in the classes. Because Srijit, you can ask him next time and he'll tell you very well, that's not what employers are interested in. What are employers interested in? They're interested in you. They're interested in you as a person. They want to know, is this a person who has an aspiration, has energy, has the capacity to communicate, to follow instructions, to give instructions, to think creatively and think of different things? Any sensible leader, manager, company that's going to achieve, they're much more interested in you than what you've studied. And if you don't believe me, you see how the biggest companies in the world, I'm talking about an Amazon or a FedEx or a Microsoft or anything, what are they looking for when they interview people? Is this the person? They're not hiring a subject. They're hiring a person. Anybody can learn the subject, of course. It's helpful to know, as Srijit said, the concepts, the language, the important things in any field. But what's really important is, who are you? And that's what we mean by consciousness. And there's much more to it than that. And I'm going to try to give you an overview to say, what should we be conscious of? What does that mean? And how are we going to learn that? So our target for us, the subject is you. And how can we help you become a more effective person to accomplish more, to fulfill your aspirations, which is why we wanted to hear about them, what those aspirations are. And most of you, not all, but most of you have come here specifically because for a career in logistics. And as Srijit's explained, and I also mentioned, that's a very good choice. But I'm not worried about when any of you, whether you're going to go for a job in logistics or later on you're going to go for a job in something else. That's not a problem. What you learn here will be good for you, regardless of halfway through or afterwards that you find there's another opportunity in another field that you never thought of. I'm not worried for any of you who responded to his question. I don't really know what I want to do. That's not necessary. It's not necessary at this age to know what you should do later in your life. Srijit did not know in 2004, when he started out on his career in education, what he would be doing. And I would say he doesn't know what he's going to be doing in 10 years. And why do I say that? Because I'm now 79 years old. And every 10 years, I'm doing something that I never imagined I'd be doing. And that's the aspiration is not, I have to be a fireman or a policeman or a pilot or something like that. The aspiration is I want to grow and I want to accomplish. That's the important thing. And that's why Srijit was talking to you. It doesn't matter you have doubts. Of course you do. I had doubts when I was 15. I had doubts when I was 20. I had doubts when I was 25. And if anybody had ever said to me, up until the age of 25, oh, you're going to go to India, you're going to do this, you're going to study management, you're going to become a this, you're going to do that. I said, you must be if you're an astrologer, you're a very bad astrologer, because I'm not going to do any of those things. And I would have been wrong in every case. Because how do we know what we're going to be in the rest of our life? How do we know what's going to come for us? What we can know is ourselves and developing you. So this you are the subject now. And regardless of the field, you can learn from, and you will learn from, in the study of logistics. You're going to learn something that's valuable for any discipline, for any field you go into. It will never be a waste. It doesn't matter the industry, because we're going to be teaching you the basic principles of accomplishment. And as Srijit has emphasized, the most important principles are the principles for us, the principles for how we act and what we do, regardless of the field. But we're not going to just be very abstract or philosophical or psychological and say, well, we're just talking to you and it doesn't matter anything else. We're going to talk to you about work in many fields, maybe cover almost every field. We're going to talk to you about the basic principles of accomplishment for you in whatever field you choose. And we're going to give you story after story, example after example to show you that the same principles are relevant regardless of whether it's logistics or something else. So don't worry about which field you're going to go into or decide maybe I want to do something else. Doesn't matter. What you learn here will be relevant wherever you're going. How are we going to do this? One of the things we're going to do is what Srijit just illustrated to you. This is what we call active, interactive, collaborative learning. We're not asking you to read the textbook and memorize it, and so you can answer a score on the test. It's true, you will do that. That will be easy. We had about 6 years ago, when we started these, what we call the foundation course, similar approach to this, different content, but very similar. We had one of our companies, our employers come, and after 20 days of listening to the foundation course, he asked Srijit, please send me 20 of your people, I want to hire them. And Srijit said, what? No, you don't understand. This is only the foundation course. We're going for a year. We won't send them away now. What I have seen from your students in the first 20 days, I don't get that even at the end of a year. This is what I want. You can send them now. You choose the people and send them. I'm not saying that we have to do that. I'm saying that from day one, you should be learning something that will help you regardless of where you're going to work later. And that participation that Srijit's been asking of you is a key part of it. Not only that you listen to us, but that you communicate with us. You raise your doubts, raise your skepticisms even, raise your questions, raise your confusions. Sometimes the confusions are the most important things. Sometimes the mistakes we made are the most valuable lessons for us. Don't worry about that. You're not here to perform and impress us about anything. Say what's on your mind. You will never be the only one who has a doubt on their mind. We do something, this is a long, complex statement, but I'll explain it's a very important one. Our approach is an integrated, interdisciplinary knowledge is what you will get. You will understand that very well, hopefully even by the end of my morning talk. We're not looking at a specialized, narrow field where this is only applicable. I want to be air freight, or I want to be in the sea freight, or I want to be in inventory management and all. You can learn all of that. The knowledge we're going to teach you is holistic knowledge. It's of the big picture. It's how everything is connected with everything else in life. And you'll see that, and I'll give you an example to illustrate what I mean by that. So wherever you go, we're going to teach you to look at the situation in its entirety, never just in its detail. Unfortunately, our educational system, not only in India, worldwide, is a system for specialization. So you learn a specialized knowledge so you can do in a specialized discipline. I once had a problem with my teeth, and I went to a dentist, and he tried doing work on it. I won't give you the details of it, but with all the work they did and everything, it went on and off for 6 months, and the pain never went away. And some 6 months later or a year later, I went and I had some little difficulty with my heart, and I met a heart surgeon, and they gave me some help. And when they gave me some help, I said to the doctor, "Doctor, my toothache has gone away." For 1 year, the dentist had been trying to help me, and now my tooth has gone away just after you gave me this treatment. He said, "Of course." Because the heart surgeon knows that if you've got any problem with your heart, it's connected to everything in the body. But the dentist was only thinking from his specialization and wanting to do things up here. So that's true of life. That's true of all things in life. They're connected. We're going to teach you the interconnections. We're going to teach you the interrelationships. So whatever situation you're in, and we're going to send you out to companies in your internship period to look at a company, and you're going to wonder, we're going to ask you to come up with solutions for the company. What do I know? I've only been in a course for 1 year. How can I be finding solutions? I did it. I was sent out to Bajaj Auto. I mentioned about it. Huge company. It was the biggest two-wheeler in India and all. And now it's the biggest in the world. And what can I do? I don't know. I don't even ride a motorcycle. I did when I was a kid. What can I know? But we're going to teach you a perspective where wherever you go, you're going to learn how to connect things together and see. Why? Why is that important? Because almost all our problems are in the space between things, the interconnection between things, where the specialist doesn't know everything he needs to know. And we're going to teach you to look at those spaces between things, because in life, in a company, in work, it's the interconnections. And that's, after all, what logistics is all about. How do we connect things together? And the science is you have to know every step of the process and every stage in order to make those connections good. And that's what we're going to be doing. That's our mode of education. In other words, this the way we're going to teach is a way of teaching so that the whole of your personality develops, not just that you learn some things in a specialized field. So as Srijit showed you here, so you've got the knowledge, you've got the skills and the attitudes. So whatever the situation you face, you'll be much better prepared to handle it. And this is very important, and I'm going to illustrate it in a few minutes. This is a life-centered contextual learning. What does it mean, life-centered learning, contextual learning? It means we're not going to teach you abstract knowledge like in a textbook, memorize all of these concepts, memorize all of these rules. We start from life. We start from what's happening in life. And then we go back to what are the principles that are here. And 5 minutes from now, I'm going to show you what I mean by that and illustrate what I mean. Everything we say to you, we're not asking you to accept or memorize a principle, including the things that Srijit said about aspiration and attitude and all of that. We're going to start by giving you examples from very successful people. You mentioned, I think, that you wanted to set up your own restaurant. Am I right? Was it you? Yeah, yes. Yeah. During this course, we're going to tell you the story of a man named Bill Marriott, who with his wife in 1927, he moved from Utah to Washington, D.C., and they started to set up a small Mexican drive-in restaurant. Mexican food wasn't popular in the North now. Now it's all over the US, but a Mexican drive-in restaurant. Today, the company they founded is one of the biggest hotel and food service companies in the world, and probably many of you have heard the name, Marriott Corporation. And back in 1984, I met the man who did that starting in 1927, and how he grew. And I met his son who took over the business after him. And we traced that process of how he grew from, he was cooking the food at the beginning. He and his wife, there were two of them running this small restaurant, doing everything, cleaning the tables, handing the customers and the cash, and preparing the food. So he started as a chef also. And by the time he finished, he was the chairman of the board of a multinational corporation worth billions of dollars. So
9,300 cooks worldwide,
only 9,300. And that's just, don't be mistaken, that's just the hotels. Marriott became the largest food service company in the country, and now he's gone global. And they were the first company to enter the airline food service business in 1937, when the first commercial flights really started. They were one of the first in Washington. Well, we'll give food on the plane also. That was in 10 years after they started. So don't worry about where you're starting from. It's a question of where your aspirations are. We're going to tell you stories like this, true stories, factual, so you can see how people have become a success at any level, not just to be an entrepreneur, to go from an entry-level job to management, to go up the scale. The principles are the same. Very important word, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow morning. And you've already mentioned a lot of this. You're going to constantly hear the word values from us. A conscious management program, and I'm going to give you one example of it later this morning, is we've studied the success of most successful companies in the world, and whatever they tell you and whatever experts say about it, at the core and the foundation is these are people who understand the value of values. And that's what we're going to be teaching you, whatever the industry is, whatever the level is, whatever your job is, it doesn't matter, because it applies to every job and every activity in every industry, in every country. So this is a value-based education, not just as a philosophy, but as a practice. And we're going to give you story after story after story to show you how these values are the core of their great accomplishment, including when somebody is said to be a great entrepreneur like Steve Jobs, who built up Apple into the most profitable, valuable company in the world. they give all kinds of explanations for jobs, but at the core foundation of it was a value, and we'll talk about it. Our target, as I said, is person-centered. And what we mean by that is your personality. And there are many dimensions to the personality. Very important one is our mind, how we think, how we can think better. I'm not talking about for math problems or software programming. I'm talking about what are the limitations in our mind? Where do we make our mistakes? How can we learn to take decisions more effectively? And effective decisions always depend not only on what we do, what we think, but how we feel about it. And that's why Srijit was talking to you about it. The key to decisions is not just the information we get. And I'll tell you a lot of stories about things where the experts said, this is impossible. We have all the data, all the scientific data. By the way, that was in 1996. That's what they said about Apple computers. When Steve Jobs went back to the company after 10 years, the experts in the industry said Apple doesn't have a prayer in the world because they knew the data. They knew the competition. They knew the management. They knew the costs. They knew the market and everything. In 12, 15 years, he was the most successful company in the world. But he made a decision that wasn't based just on the statistics and what the bank said or what the investor said. He knew something else, and that we're going to teach you. And technology. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about technology and how technology is a critical central part of our accomplishment in life. What is it? How is it created? How do we use it and all? And that's a theme you'll be constantly hearing. And as I said, your development all around. And as I mentioned already, our target is we're not worried about which career you're going to take up. We prepare you for whatever you decide on, and we'll show you how that happens. But this is going to open up a wide range of opportunities for you, and you'll see, you'll decide which is the best one for you and where the opportunities come from. Okay, so it raises the question. This is a pretty obvious question, right? What is management? I talked about conscious. Srijit and I talked about what we mean by conscious, making us more conscious. Us more conscious not only about ourselves, that's important, but more conscious about the work, more conscious about the world. And you'll see from the very beginning, we're going to be talking about consciousness and what it means practically. But at the same time, what is management? Can anybody tell me? What do we mean by management? Why should we be Conscious Management Institute? What does it mean to understand management? Anybody? It's not going to be a test and I'm not going to go around the room, but anyone want to help us out? Managing? Okay, so you're talking about self-management. And certainly that's part of it. And that's what Sri Aurobindo was talking about, managing our attitudes, managing our energy, managing our skills. That's all part of management. But what else is there? That's not all. We are not just talking about how do we manage ourselves, because if you're in an entrepreneurial job, or if you're a manager, or if you're a staff at any level, you have to manage something else too. What do we mean by management? What are we going to manage? Anybody? No wrong answers here. You can't be wrong. Anybody help me out?
So for ensuring everything is followed in that.
What is the everything? What's that thing that we're managing?
Position. He must ensure he is doing his responsibilities properly. Now he is ensuring his subordinates to meet the expectations what the business demands.
Okay, so you said he's going to manage his own responsibilities. He's going to manage himself. And if he's a manager, he should be managing what other people do too. So people obviously are a part of what we have to manage, right? Anything else? Is that all we manage? Simple question, right? What are we going to manage? Energy, excellent. Excellent question. I don't think, by the way, that's an interesting. Oh, you read the, well, I was wondering because he read the first chapter of The Vital Difference, which we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow, but I have a little story about it since you mentioned it. In 1987, when I started meeting with business leaders, entrepreneurs, and their senior executives, and we started teaching them, after a year of doing this, we delivered a big conference and a bigger conference, and a professor, I won't tell you the university came from, of business management came up and said to me, "What is this thing you're talking about, energy?" I wasn't talking about electricity and fossil fuels or solar energy. I was talking about, as Srijit did, our energy. He said, "That's not a concept in management." And I said to him politely, but a little, I said, "It's very interesting that you say this, because in the last 1 year, I've addressed hundreds, maybe 1,000 entrepreneurs and talked them about the same thing you heard. And no one, not even a single one out of those 1,000 ever asked me what energy is. How could it be if it's not a concept in management?" Every one of them knew from their own personal experience that their energy and the people in their company, and that whether it's their marketing team or their engineering team or their production team or anything, the success of the company depends on their energy level. They knew it intuitively. They didn't have to learn it as MBAs, and many of them had MBA. They never heard of it in MBA, but they know it in life. So we're talking about life. We're talking that managing our energy is part of being conscious. It's part of the job of management. A very good answer. Well, I'm going to save you time because we could spend the rest of the afternoon even on this. What do we mean by, what I mean by management, what we mean by management is a science. It's a science because it has systematic principles, and you're going to learn those principles very well. But management is also an art. An art means the rules, we know the rules on outside of what makes things effective, but we also have to know the feelings inside, the aspirations inside, what Srijit was talking about to you. Effective management is always a combination of both. And any accomplished leader, any accomplished entrepreneur will tell you the same thing. It's not all a question of what the financial statements say. It's not always a question of what the technical experts, and we give you stories of this, real stories about that, to be how wrong they could be when they look only at the science part of it. It's also the art, and we're going to be teaching you about that. So what does management relate to? We manage space. If you're an architect or you're a contractor or you're selling real estate or wherever it is, or if you're running an inventory in a factory, or if you're loading product on a plane, space management is really important. You have to use the space efficiently and effectively. We're managing time. And logistics, you can say, I won't make it, logistics is all about time, all about not just getting things from one place to another, but getting them from one place to another in the shortest possible time at the lowest cost, with the minimum of damage and losses and everything. That's all it's about. Unless we can manage the space in the cargo ships or on the airplanes, then there's stories about FedEx, about how they learned to get more product on the plane, and how they've done it with the ships over the last 20 years. Time is critically important. On every job, time is something we have to manage as well. Energy, we've discussed about. People, we've discussed about. Ideas. We're going to learn lots of ideas. How do we manage the ideas? How do we use them effectively? We're not trying to load you with a whole volumes of information and you have to memorize it and everything. The way we want to manage ideas is to teach you from your own experience the practical need and value of these ideas. You won't forget them. You don't have to study for them before the exams. And you don't have to remind yourself, because we'll teach you how to think in such a way that the concepts you're learning are natural to you. You know what to do with them. You don't have to go and try to remember what we said in a lecture, because it'll be part of the way you think. Obviously, managing the money is important. Managing objects is important. Managing the technology is of critical importance. Managing natural resources, the environment. So when we talk about management, doesn't matter what industry you're in. We have to manage all these things. And what I'm saying is, it's not just specialized things to know. There are principles of management applicable to all of these areas. And that's what we're going to be studying. Which fields are it going to be applying to? Srijit's already discussed many of them. I've listed some here, and you'll hear from us examples. We've used it in GIIMS as our training. We've given stories about military, successful military operations. Sports, we're going to talk a lot about sports because it's something most of you know about a lot. And you'll see the principles of management that are there in successful athletic teams. We're going to even start tomorrow with an example of that. But we're talking about something that's as big as the world. And that's management. That's why we're confident whatever you decide to do, what you're learning here will be applicable for it and relevant. And what type of activities do we manage? We manage things to grow them, to mine them, to process them, to manufacture them, sell them, to serve them as services to people, to store them carefully, to transport them, even to dispose of them. All of these things need management. Principles are the same. We're going to be studying all of them. That's why we're not worried about which occupation you're going to choose. So what I'm saying is, I went through this the principles of management apply to all life. Whether you're a householder, a family person, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, a doctor, a nurse, a lot of management involved in these jobs to get them done really. We're going to teach you what will be applicable to any field you choose. Now, let me tell you a story. Quick version of the story, and you'll learn more about it as we go through the course. But I'm giving you the overview to illustrate what I mean by a life-centered contextual education. Think about this. In about 1892, a man named Richard Sears was a railway station master in a small town in American Midwest. Now, in order to understand this story, you have to understand what was happening in the American Midwest 135 years ago. What was happening is the steam engine had developed. Farmers were now, instead of having to plow with the bullocks and everything, as they were doing when I first came to India, tractors were rare at that time, they started having mechanical instruments, motorized instruments for plowing. Why was that so important? Because in the US, there's a huge amount of land, and there was a shortage of people. Compared to the land, the density was very little. How to get enough people to do all the agriculture was a problem all over the country at that time. So rural agriculture was poor simply because there was a shortage of people. And when the steam engine came, when then the internal combustion engine came, the productivity in American farms really rose tremendously. There was a boom of prosperity in the 1890s. Why is that important? Because the people who were earning were sometimes hundreds of miles away from a city. And even roads were not there. This is a country, you know, when I came to India, there weren't that many roads. And the East Coast Road, which I go on very often now, was so broke. It was there, an old road, but you couldn't even drive on it. There were so many potholes in it. You'd ruin the car if you drove on it. Roads hadn't yet taken up. This was the beginning We had prosperity being created in the rural areas. The only way they could get the food out that they produced was through the railway. It was much easier to build a rail track than to build roads all the way connecting farms from hundreds or even thousands of miles from the big cities. So this was a man who, Sears, Richard Sears, he was a railway station master in a small town. And when the companies in the cities wanted to sell something to a company in the town where he was, they would do what we used to call, I don't know if it's still here, VPP. When I came, what we call collect on delivery. The company would send it, give it through the postman, and the postman would go and say, if you want this product, you have to pay for it, and we'll send the money back. That's what, when I came to India, it was VPP. I don't know.
We call it a COD now.
COD is what we call it in the States. But at that time, you never heard COD here. It was VPP. Now it's become COD. So he was asked to collect on a consignment of watches. He was asked to go to the shop in his town, only one watch shop, say, you ordered these watches, here they are, please pay me so I can send them back to the company. That was the postmaster, the railway master's job. The man who owned the shop said, I'm sorry, I don't have any money to pay for it. Then what am I going to do with them? He said, you better send them back. So he sent a telegram. Remember 1890, there weren't many roads, but telegrams. Because the trains had been crossing the US for 40 years, because the trains had been going across the country, wherever there was a train, they built a telegraph line. Why? Because the trains had to communicate with each other. Between one station and another, they have to know whether there was an accident, whether the driver didn't show up, whether the train is actually coming or whether it's postponed or for next day. So telegraph grew up along the railway lines in the country. Remember I said we have to understand the big picture? This is the big picture in America in 1989 in the rural areas. You've got rural prosperity cut off from the mainstream of the country, and only communication mostly was through train and telegraph. So what did Richard Sears do? He sent a telegraph back to the watch company in Chicago, which had sent the watches and said, what do you want me to do? Your customer won't pay for them. And the company sent back a message to him, why don't you sell them? Sell them, I'm a railway station master. And that problem turned out to be the greatest opportunity of his life, which he never thought of. He was a station master. He didn't come to sell watches. But then he began to think about it, sell them. How can I sell watches? Well, he's on a train. He's at a station. He's got telegraph, which is connected for 1,000 miles in both directions. And he has communication with the railway station masters in all those countries. They go back and forth telling about their problems, their accidents, and the schedules and everything else. So he got an idea. Why don't I send a telegram to all the managers that I know in different directions on this line and see whether anybody will buy the watches? And he said, look, I got these watches and I get them at a really good price. And you can sell them for at least, you can sell them at $25 and you'll earn a whole 20% profit. He figured he was getting them for $15 from the manufacturer. So he's going to earn a 1/3 profit or a 20% profit, and the other guy will earn a little less. And what was happening within 1 month, he was sending another message back to the watch company, please send me more watches. So his problem became a great opportunity. By the way, this is life-centered education. And then what did he do? He heard of a company that had created something unheard of. It was the first time, what we call a mail order catalog. How did he know about this mail order catalog? Because he's a station master, and the trains are how they're delivering the mail. And he'll get boxes of catalogs for mail order coming from Chicago and being sent out to the cities and the villages on his route. So he knows about it. He said, maybe I can have a mail order catalog. So he created a mail order catalog for watches. He didn't have to, he's only one man. He's only one man, and he puts the watches in a closet somewhere. And he started sending out these catalogs all the way down the routes, even 500 miles away, without ever going to any of these places. And after a while, he found some shops in those towns, small towns, villagers, say, please keep sending us catalogs. We will show them to our customers so they can buy watches, which they don't know it exists. They've never been to Chicago. And we'll order from you and take a price for it. And you can go and deliver them. Within a couple of years, it was not just watches. He was selling 100 different products of different things. He was testing now. If it works with watches, it'll work with medicines. And sometimes he was an adventurous entrepreneur. He became an entrepreneur. And sometimes he was said, well, how about something that will put the hair back on your bald head? Because especially men are really concerned about that. So he got some potion for hair restorer, or to make you young again, or to solve this problem or that problem. And he got carried away. And he started putting on his catalog the best products in the world, which was a bit of an exaggeration. And you can get them. And then after a while, he got carried away and said, we sell to the world, which was certainly an exaggeration because nobody had ever heard of them in New York or Los Angeles by that time. But he became a promoter, and he grew and he grew. And at 1900, this is in about 8 years, he had a problem. He couldn't manage the business. It was growing so much. Growing so much at that time means it was up to about $1 million or $2 million. And that $2 million then is like $100 million. Imagine the railway station master who may have been earning $100 a month at most at that time. He's got $2 million, but he doesn't know how to manage this thing. And he needed money for investment. He needs warehouses now. He needs staff now. He can't just be doing this himself. So he approached a businessman named Julius Rosenwald. And he said, I hear you're a very important businessman and I need an investor, but I need somebody who can guide me. And this was the second really great opportunity for him, that he couldn't do it himself. And he talked to Julius Rosenwald, explained everything to him and said, will you help me? He said, as you're running the business today, I will not have anything to do with it. I won't even lend you $1 because you'll be doomed for failure. If you want me to be in your business and help you and invest in your company, you must do what I say. Well, what do you say? Tell me what you say. I say on the top of your catalog, you must say in big letters, satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Richard Sears got in a panic because he knew very well that half of his customers were probably angry with him because they foolishly bought something that would not satisfy anybody, but it was satisfied him because he earned money on it. That means I can't sell most of these products. He said, exactly. As long as you're selling these products, I don't want to have anything to do with you. But you have discovered an opportunity. And you have discovered a delivery system that can reach large portions of the world, but we must only reach them with quality products, which we're willing to guarantee. Now, at that time, you have to understand, in 1900, the motto in business was, the Latin phrase that they used at that time was caveat emptor. Caveat is beware. Emptor is buyer. Buyer beware. The motto in business was beware of what you buy, because most of the time it's not what it promises. And he wants to, and Sears knew that. And he wants to throw away that buyer beware and say satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. And he agreed. And Rosenthal World took over management of the company. And with 8 years, the company had grown about 8-fold. And he ran into a big problem. They couldn't manage the inventory. This was a logistics problem. By that time, they had 500 products, and they had to order the products from different places. They have to keep track of them. They may get orders, but they have to have the product to sell. It was a real a logistical problem of inventory management and storage, and how to find them if you have 500 products. Where are they? We get them lost all the time. So a third person came into the company. His name was Otto Deering. Otto Deering was an industrial engineer and had produced some of the first great invention in America called the moving assembly line. We learned, most of us who learned about moving assembly line, we learned the story from Ford. Henry Ford set up moving assembly lines, first one to apply to automotive. But this was a year before Ford did that. You understand the principle of a moving assembly line? Instead of running around a huge factory looking for 500 different products, where are they? You have a conveyor belt, and there's somebody at each position. And as the orders come through, if there's something from that place, they put it on the assembly line. And as the order goes through, it gets filled up, even if it's got 100 different products on it. And the result was they could double or triple their business again. Short story is, by 1920, Sears was the largest retailer in the United States. The largest retailer in the whole United States. It all started with those watches. And if I go on, that's only the first step in their process. And I won't go further now, but within another 10 years, the retail catalog was the smallest part of their business, because they then became the widest, largest department stores in the United States as well. And then they went on to other things. Why have I told you this story? What does it have to do with it? Why I told you was I wanted to illustrate a few things to you. First is, this is a story about the country. I think you'll agree with me. If I don't tell you, if we don't know what's going on in America at that time, we don't understand the opportunity that he had. This is a story about a company that understood that opportunity and created a system to meet that need of the society. And how he learned the hard way, because he didn't know any management at that time, he learned it by bringing in people who knew what he didn't know, who were experienced businessmen and then engineers and later marketing people. And the story goes all the way up for 100 years. He learned how to build this company until then. And the third, it's a story about 4 individuals. He had limits, but he created it. But then he had the sense to get the other experts who had knowledge and expertise that he didn't have, and he kept building it. I told you about 3 of the 4. I'll save the 4th for later. You'll hear from it. He's the one, the 4th one is the guy who really made it the biggest of all. Each one. So what am I saying here? Effective management is a result of the relationship between the society we live in, the company we organize, and the people who are part of it. And in every case, doesn't matter what the business is, this formula is critical. And as we go through our examples, just like this, case studies, you'll see it's not enough to learn how to produce and deliver logistics. You have to know the society and what's going on. You have to know the skills of the people you need and the knowledge you need to do it. And we're going to give you story after story that illustrates this was not a unique case. This is always the case. It's true. It was true of Apple. It was true of the shipping companies. It's true in every field that to really learn management, it's not just to learn what happens inside the warehouse. We have to know the big picture, and we have to know people and how to manage them and what we need and when we should listen to them and learn from them and not try to do things all ourselves. And every case, this is what the lesson is. So what I briefly told you, and this is just I've talked to you about 3 sources. The 3 sources were the society we live in, and we'll talk about that, the company, and the right individuals with the right attitudes, the right knowledge, and the right motive. But I also told you a story of 5 resources that are really important in any business. Doesn't matter what the field is. And I use this only to illustrate. What are those 3 sources? I mentioned the society, the individuals, and the companies. What are the resources? There's got to be a market. The market didn't exist then. Nobody knew there was a market. He discovered the market. But discovering the market is not enough. He had to discover a way to reach the market. He needed a system and a technology. He could use it because the trains were there and the postal was there. It was all set up for him. Nobody had thought of it up until then. So the needs of the society, which we call the market, is essential. We've got to understand that, and they changes over time. And when those needs change, if we don't change with it, what's a successful model this year won't be a next year or a year after. And by the way, in the question with Sears is, their knowledge lasted for 90 years until the market changed and the people, these people were all gone by then, had missed the fact that the market is changing and you have to change with it. So it's ongoing. Second thing was the people, which I've illustrated. They are one of the engines, essential resources, the right people given the right freedom and the right training and the right capacities. The third is technology. I gave you just one example here. That was the moving assembly line. It took them from bankruptcy, from problems of bankruptcy, to doubling and tripling because they had the right technology at that time. The fourth is capital. The capital may be land or raw materials or money, whatever it is. We need, for any business, we need the resources that are essential for it. The knowledge is also that. And the fifth one is what I want to end with. It's this mysterious thing we call organization. And organization is as critical to this whole thing as what Srijit was talking about, energy and aspiration. Energy and aspiration come from inside. Organization is what we build outside. And that's the science of management. And we're going to talk a lot of examples. In his case, it was the mail order catalog in the moving assembly line and the money back guarantee that made these things tied together. So organization is the thing that we combine all the other capacities and resources together to get a result. And that is something that the society needs, something that it wants. We're going to show you story after story. It doesn't matter when it happened, where it happened, or what industry it's in. The issues are the same, and we're going to teach you how to think that way. So whatever your job is, doesn't matter what job, what department, or anything, you will be thinking in terms of this connections and how are we doing in meeting these and using these resources. Very briefly, I mentioned 1985, we published our first book with the study of 20 very successful companies. We're going to be using a lot of examples from that, but we're also going to be using a lot of examples from today, from India. These companies were all in America. Of course, they're all here. Most of them are all here now, but they're all came here. But the stories apply to companies of every size in every industry. These were some of the companies out of the 20. Bata Shoes. Maybe a lot of people in India think that Bata Shoes is an Indian company founded in industry, in India. Huh?
Okay.
You're right, it's based in UK, but it was not founded in UK, and that's not even the headquarters of it. You don't know the headquarters of it. The headquarters, I know because I talked to Bata's son, Thomas Bata. It was in Toronto at that time, and that was in 1985. He was located in, their headquarters was in Canada. That's another story, you'll learn about it. But that's a lot of people think Bata sounds like an Indian name, and it must be founded here. It wasn't founded by Indians, but the story is really important for us. So like that, we're going to be taking context, life, and learning from that life what we can learn from it. We're not making anything up by ourselves. This is Marriott is one of the companies. That's why I mentioned it, because we studied it, and the tremendous lessons we can learn from that company. Okay, so by the way, it doesn't matter, but at the time we published this book, there was one man who was the leader of the science of management in the world. I don't know if any of you have ever heard the name Peter Drucker. I don't expect it. It's not a test or a requirement. Peter Drucker was writing the first real management books back in the 1940s. And in 1985, he was considered the world expert that all the big companies were reading and all the MBA courses were teaching. Our book was shown to him by my co-author, and Drucker did what he never does. He wrote a foreword to the book. He didn't know where the ideas came from, but this is a quote from what the message he gave: filled with profound insight, indeed wisdom. Because this is, why was it profound insight and indeed wisdom? Because this is not what's being taught in the MBA courses. So if it's taught in every MBA course, where's the question of saying it's something very profound? It's all what we know. They're just repeating what we know. That's not the case here. And that's still not the case. This is the second book, important because this book was not based on the huge companies that were 20 or 50 or 100 years old, which most of them were. This is based on very fast-growing companies. And one of those companies, which we're going to talk about a lot, is FedEx. And we met FedEx when in 20 years it had built up the overnight delivery business from nothing to become the largest in the US. And within another 10, there was no overnight delivery in India. It started about 10 years later. And when we met him, we asked him, what are your plans? You're already the biggest in America. What is your plan? Within 10 years, we want to be the biggest air delivery system in the world. And he did it 1 year early, did it by 1999. At that time, he was a startup still. FedEx grew and reached the Fortune 500 faster than any company had ever reached it up until that time. And that's why we were curious, what are you going to do now? You've already set all the records. So you're going to be satisfied now? He said, we're just beginning. We'll learn the principles behind it. He had the aspirations that Srijit's talking about. Fast-growing companies, I mentioned Bajaj, FedEx, and we'll talk about many others. Different size, different industries, different countries as well. So I hope you get the idea now. What we mean by conscious, what we mean by management, what we mean by conscious management education, what we mean by contextual education, and what you've heard from Srijit is what we mean when we say that this is person-centered. You are the center of the education. You're learning about yourself and learning about people and how to how to accomplish in life together. So I think, Srijit, we've pretty much covered our schedule and all. I have a brief announcement. Srijit mentioned to you that we're going to be using a lot of video, some of it real life video, at least real stories, even if they're produced by Hollywood or something, and a lot of examples, whether of companies or of life. And we'll show you in the next 2 days how much we can learn from stories that are not business stories at all, but are true to these principles. What principle? The principle of accomplishment. It doesn't matter whether you're in a money business or not, or you're running sports or an educational institution, the principles of management are the same. So I have a request for all of you. Tomorrow, our session will end by 12:30, I think, on time. Tomorrow, after that, you'll be free, but I have an invitation and a request for our students. Be back here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. We didn't want to do it today because you had no notice in advance. You may have made plans for it. Be back here at 2 o'clock. We're in the third floor. Should the third floor? Second. The next floor. The third floor, the computer lab, right? We're going to show you a movie. We're going to talk about the movie in the morning, just for a few minutes, and explain to you why we want you to see this movie. And we want you to go and watch it in the afternoon. And when you come back whether you're coming into class or coming back on the Zoom, it's all right. The next morning, the first thing we're going to do, that is on the 29th, is ask you what you have learned from watching this movie. It's, by the way, it's a true story. It's a movie, but it's a true story, factually, and you'll understand that. And the same thing, because we're going to talk to you about 3 movies tomorrow, very different movies, to illustrate principles of management, of conscious management. And we're going to ask you to see one of them tomorrow afternoon and a second one on Thursday. It'll be Thursday afternoon. Yeah, Thursday afternoon. So again, we can come back and discuss it and see what you've learned from it. And once you do this, and once you learn how to learn from the life experience that you get and all, you'll begin to see these principles are there in everything. They'll be there in family businesses. They'll be there in your favorite stories, in legends. They'll be there in everything right before us, but we haven't understood their real value. They're there in life. So you're going to close this, okay? So I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow and talking with you and hearing back from you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such an inspiring session. I would now like to close this session by thanking the parents, students, Trivandrum GIIMS Institute, Kochi GIIMS Institute, and all the members of CMI community to be part of this inaugural session. I would also like to give a short announcement. Kindly note that your foundation program is beginning tomorrow. Please ensure that you submit all relevant documents to accounts and complete your admission process. Students have to report to the institute at 9:45 a.m. and sessions will go up to 1 p.m. Please bring relevant stationery along. Thank you, everyone. Have a pleasant day.
Dear students, Pondicherry students, one announcement. So tomorrow, after the morning sessions, you have to stay back for the activity, the program that you are going to watch the movie. So come prepare for that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. ஸோ நாளைக்கு நம்ம மார்னிங் செஷன்ஸ் முடிஞ்சது பிறகு நமக்கு வந்து ஆக்டிவிட்டி செஷன்ஸ்னு ஒன்று இருக்கு. கேரி ஜேக்கப் சார் சொன்னார் இல்லையா, மூவிஸ், வாட்சிங் மூவிஸ் இன் டிஃபரெண்ட் ஆங்கிள், ஸோ டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ். ஸோ அந்த வாட்சிங் மூவிஸ் வந்து ஒரு ஆக்டிவிட்டி. உங்களுக்கு அந்த மூவியில நீங்க என்ன பார்க்கணும், எந்த ஆங்கிள் வந்து அந்த மூவியை பார்க்கணும், எந்த ஆங்கிள் ஆர்கனைசேஷன்ஸ் அண்ட் பிளானிங் அண்ட் கம்பெனியை பத்தி அவங்க எப்படி இருக்கு, அவங்களோட ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் என்னெல்லாம் இருக்கு அப்படிங்கறத வந்து நம்ம வந்து நாளைக்கு அந்த ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் மூலியமா நீங்க அப்சர்வ் பண்ணிட்டு அடுத்த நாள் மார்னிங் வந்து நீங்க வந்து இதை டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணணும். ஸோ இதுதான் அசைன்மெண்ட். கிளியர்? தேங்க்யூ ஆல்.
Students, you all can